When I was like 6, I took piano lessons and it was cool, but the worst part of it was practicing at home. Not because it was frustrating or anything, but because the piano in my house is in the living room. Pretty much the worst possible location for an immobile musical instrument to go. My parents would always be watching TV or whatever when I'd need to practice, and for Christmas they got me a Casio LK100, which I eventually swapped out for this keyboard that my grandpa used to play, the Yamaha YPT-210. This keyboard is no longer being manufactured, but it's almost completely identical to Yamaha's current offerings. Therefore, this video is not only a review of the YPT-210, but also a reference to give you an idea of what Yamaha's entry-level keyboards are like. So, without further ado, the Yamaha YPT-210. First up is what the keyboard comes with. Included in the box is a music rest for holding sheet music, as well as the power adapter and owner's manual. The unit is either powered by a 12-volt DC adapter or 6 AA batteries. There's also a jack for the sustained foot switch, which is not included, a headphone jack, and finally there are standard MIDI ports on the back. Although I believe Yamaha's newer keyboards come with USB instead of MIDI ports. Now, do you see anything missing? That's right, where the heck are the RCA jacks? The only thing you have for output is a 1/4-inch headphone jack, which is fine for stuff like connecting an amplifier or headphones, but not so great for recording. Now we'll talk about the functionality of the keyboard. The most important functions on the keyboard are handled by these 3 buttons: voice, style, and song. Voice changes the sound that the keyboard produces. The sounds include orchestra hit, church organ, and of course, grand piano. All PCM sampled, of course. Voices 1 through 121 are your standard sounds. You also get some drum kits. And finally, the X-Glide sounds. These are modified versions of the regular sounds like 12-string guitar. The next main button is Style, where you can select an automatic drum rhythm to play along to, like Europop. Now, let's turn on the Onetouch Sound option and switch to Christmas Swing. Did you notice the different sounds? That's what the Onetouch Sound feature is for. Dialing in voice 000 and playing a rhythm will have the keyboard select a sound that suits the particular rhythm. While a rhythm is playing, you have some buttons to control it. You can, of course, change the tempo, but you can also switch between 2 variations of the rhythm for different parts of a song. And one of my favorite features, auto accompaniment. With this mode enabled, you can have a backing track play and control it with your left hand, while you play the melody in your right hand. The key of the backing track is controlled by special combinations of keys in the lower third of the keyboard, all of which are shown in the owner's manual. You can also press the intro button before starting the backing track, which will play a small introduction before beginning the actual rhythm. There isn't really a quick way to switch sounds on the fly while playing, though. You might think that the portable grand button, which immediately switches the keyboard back to the grand piano sound, would partially solve that problem, but pressing it also cuts out the rhythm, leaving the changing of sounds up to the numeric keypad, which is less than ideal. It's the same deal with the sound effects button. The final main button is Song, where you can select a demo song that you're supposed to learn. And here is where I find one of the only instances of Casio having an edge over Yamaha. Casio has their patented key lighting system on their beginner keyboards, making their learning system a lot easier to figure out. In lieu of lighted keys, the Yamaha uses a tiny LCD screen to show which keys you need to press, which is a total pain. Really, I can't recommend this as a teaching tool, but it is an okay keyboard for a student, provided they have some kind of instructor. Another problem is the fact that there's no velocity detection, meaning that no matter how hard or how soft you press the keys, the sound is always the same volume. But to show that this keyboard is not totally useless to advanced pianists, I will let you hear my multi-track rendition of Britney Spears' You Drive Me Crazy. Don't judge me. Enjoy, everyone!